Okay, let's see. Okay, the brush I'm starting out with, I'll do most of this painting with a Princeton long round number 14 Velvet Touch brush, 3950 LR. Okay, starting with cadmium, so I'm turning my palette this way. I don't know whether you can see it or not. So that I'm gonna, the paint has sat here for 2 or 3 days and now it's kind of dry. I don't like to paint with dry paint. So I may find myself having to, I'm moistening it again. I may find that I have to, all right, let me tell you this. I've said this before, you paint things the way they grow. These petals are growing from here outward. Because it's at an angle, the petals on that side are shorter than they are on this side. Now, over here is where we're going to start running into problems because that's where it overlaps with the blue. Now, we could have done 2 things. We could have just not, made the vase blue because he's going to be a problem. I could have made the vase red and I wouldn't have nearly as much trouble. But we're going to control our problems. Sitting here talking, I've covered some of, okay, the color that you don't see on my palette is white. And you just have to leave that. You have to be careful and leave the white. All right, now then, the red and the orange is complementary to the green. So I'm going to be very careful about putting any orange in this right now because I'm getting ready to go right into the green and suggest that. In fact, I may put just a hint of this. This is just to get a little bit of definition. I'll go ahead and on the front. But I'm not going to create any more problems. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of cadmium orange just to start to build up the color. Notice that I'm not trying to memorize it. I looked at this all morning, so I should know what it looks like. But no, I don't. I have to continually look at my subject matter. That's why I paint from life, is that I know how to respond better to life than I do to a photograph. Okay, now I've suggested that, but I've not let the orange get over into the blue yet. I want to control that. One tool I don't have out is one of my favorite tools, and that's my Q-tips. I use my Q-tip to hold that line. All right, now then, what I'm going to do, I have that there started. Now I'm going to rinse my brush, wipe it on paper towel. I'm going to go into some yellow light, and I'm going to start really paying attention to what I'm doing is in terms of leaving some white here. Yellow and ultramarine blue will make brown because ultramarine blue has purple in it, and yellow and purple are complements. Yellow and cobalt are not as bad to go for the brown. So and that's why you study art, because I know that because I've done this all my life. Really and truly, I have done this all my life. My dad was an artist. He was a cartoonist, and so I started drawing when I was real young. And, it's a long story. I won't even go into that whole story. It's not important. But now I have some of the leaves started, just to give me a little bit of understanding about what I'm going to wash in a little bit of this leaf yellow color. I'm not going to go into the whole, okay, and notice how that orange is rushing down that leaf yellow. And I do that. I allow that to happen in some places I don't. And I'm leaving that for a reason. Or at least what I'm saying is a reason. It's a reason to me. It may not be a reason for anybody else. So what I'm doing, and it's washed over here into that. I like those subtle, although I don't want to go whole hog and let the whole thing be taken over by orange. And if I don't want to, I can't pull it over there. So what I've got to do is I'm about to stop right now. Except, let me say this, where I paint one color, I repeat it. Light is coming from here, from right here. So I'm going to put some light here and shadow, and it comes over, it jumps over here, and it hits the paper on, hits this, jumps, and then it lands over here. So I'm putting a little bit of light in there right now just to get some suggestion. It's going to be, the light is going to be more up above than it is low. So I'm just suggesting a little bit of a background right now. In fact, I may as well go ahead and, do this. Pay attention. Look, I need to look at my subject matter. Don't just try to wing it. There's no winging it. Not on this. Now I've gone ahead and painted negatively. When you paint around the subject matter, you're painting negatively. When you're painting the subject matter itself, you're painting positively. So I've suggested these colors in other places, and it's beginning to, the color in the palette is beginning to. Now, if you got too much, I splash me some water in there and wash it around with my brush. Constantly balance the color though. I just added a huge swath of yellow there. Well, I'm going to have to increase my yellow over here to make it balance. And now I need a little yellow there just to make it balance. So I have pretty much laid out what I'm going to do here. Pretty much. Okay, I'm just about to quit. I really am. I really, really am. I promise I'm about to quit. Okay, now. All right, there we have it. I've started my painting. I'm gonna not move it. I'm gonna let it sit flat to dry while I go clean house.